Hello everyone and welcome to our very first lecture in the section Introduction to Messaging in the Ultimate Apache Kafka 4.0 Masterclass. I'm your instructor Ashish and I'm incredibly excited to kick things off by answering a fundamental question. What exactly is messaging in the context of software, and perhaps more importantly, why do we even need it in the first place? Now, if you're new to the world of distributed systems, event streaming, or even just software development beyond a single application, these terms might sound a bit abstract. But I promise you, by the end of this lecture, you will have a crystal clear understanding of a concept that is absolutely essential for building modern, scalable, and resilient applications. Let's begin. To understand messaging in software, let's start with something familiar. Everyday communication. Imagine you want to tell a friend about a great new movie you saw. How would you do it? Your first option is a direct conversation. You call them on the phone, you talk directly in real time. If they don't pick up, you cannot tell them immediately. You have to try again later, and this is synchronous in nature. This is synchronous communication. Now the second option is to leave a note or a message. You send them a text message, an email, or even leave a sticky note on their door. You send the message and they will read it whenever they are available. You don't have to wait for them to be ready, and this is asynchronous. In software, we face very similar communication challenges. So now let's understand, how do software applications talk? Think about different parts of a software system. Today, applications are rarely just one big block of code. Instead, they are broken down into smaller, specialized pieces that need to communicate with each other. We call them services or components. Let's say we have application A and application B. Application A needs to tell application B something. The traditional approach is the direct API call, which is synchronous in nature. This is the most common way they communicate, which is through direct API calls. Think of it like that phone call. Application A makes a request directly to application B, and then it waits for application B to respond. Now, the advantages of direct calls is that it is simple for very basic interactions. We get immediate feedback if it works. Now the disadvantages are quite a lot of direct calls. The application A knows about application B. That means they are tightly coupled. If application B changes, application A might need to change. They are too dependent on each other. And then we have availability issues. What if application B is down for maintenance or overloaded? Application A's request will fail, or it will have to wait indefinitely, potentially slowing down or crashing application A. Next, we have scalability challenges. If application A sends too many requests too quickly, application B might struggle to keep up. Another disadvantage is order of operations. If operation A needs to tell multiple applications something, it has to call them one by one. This is where things start to get tricky in real-world systems. And this is exactly where messaging comes in. Messaging introduces an intermediary, a middleman that helps applications communicate without needing to know too much about each other. We often call this intermediary a message broker or a messaging system. Think of it like our text message or email analogy. Instead of calling your friend directly, you send the message to a service, and that service holds the message until your friend is ready to receive it. So how it works in software is that application A, which is the producer, sends a message to the message broker. The message broker stores this message safely, and then application B, which is the consumer, connects to the message broker, not to the producer directly. It is connecting to the message broker and retrieves the message when it's ready. Crucially, application A doesn't wait for application B to respond. It doesn't even wait for application B to be ready. It just sends its message. The message reaches the message broker. It just sends the message and moves on to its next task. Application B will process it whenever it can. So what amazing superpowers does this messaging approach give us? So let's break down the core reasons why messaging is indispensable in modern software development. First advantage is decoupling, or we can call it loose coupling. Imagine a complex Lego structure. If every block is glued directly to another, it's hard to change one part without affecting the whole. With messaging, applications are like independent Lego modules that connect through a common interface or the message broker. In software, we have the advantage that applications no longer need to know about each other's exact location, state, or even if they are currently running. They only need to know how to send messages to or receive messages from the broker. This makes systems much easier to develop, maintain, and evolve independently. Next advantage is asynchronous communication. For example, sending an email versus making a phone call. In software development, the sender will not have to wait for the receiver, and this is critical for responsiveness. Your main application can respond quickly to users even if background tasks are lengthy. This is also critical for efficiency, where applications can continue processing other tasks instead of blocking and waiting. Next advantage is scalability. Imagine a fast food drive-thru with a dedicated order taker and separate food chefs. The order taker can take many orders even if the kitchen is busy because of orders piling up. Similarly, in software, producers can produce messages faster than consumers can consume them, and the broker acts as a buffer. You can add more consumers to handle increased message load without affecting the producers. This allows your system to handle bursts of activity and grow gracefully. Next advantage is resilience and reliability, which translates to fault tolerance. Imagine a post office that holds letters even if the recipient's house is temporarily unavailable. In software development, if a consumer application goes down, the messages sent by the producer are not lost. They stay in the broker until the consumer comes back online. Messages can be retried if a processing error occurs. This makes your system much more robust and less prone to failures. Next, we have load balancing and work distribution. Imagine a queue at a bank where the next available teller helps the next person in line. Multiple consumers can listen to the same stream of messages, and the broker can distribute those messages among them, ensuring that the workload is spread evenly and processed efficiently. Next advantage is auditing and replayability, and this is not for all. This is for some messaging systems, especially like Kafka. Imagine a detailed logbook of every significant event that has ever happened in your business. In software development, some advanced messaging systems, and this is a huge strength of Kafka, can persist messages for a long time, allowing you to replay events, that means reprocess past data for new analysis or to recover from errors. Hence, it allows you to have audit trails, have a complete immutable record of everything that has occurred in your system. Now that we understand the why, let's look at some real-world scenarios where messaging is absolutely critical. First, we have e-commerce order processing. So when you click place order, the order might be sent as a message. This allows inventory, payment processing, shipping, and email confirmation services to work independently and asynchronously, even if one is temporarily slow. Next, we have user activity tracking, where every click, every page view on a website like LinkedIn or Netflix can be an event message. This data is then streamed to analytics systems without slowing down the user's experience. Next, we have microservices communication. In modern architectures, applications are broken into many small, independent services. Messaging allows these services to talk to each other efficiently and reliably. Next, we have IoT data, Internet of Things. Devices sending constant streams of sensor data need a robust messaging system to handle the sheer volume and ensure all data is collected and processed. And next we have a very common use case, which is log aggregation. It means we are centralizing logs from hundreds or thousands of servers into one place for analysis. And next we have real-time analytics, processing incoming data as it arrives to provide immediate insights or detect anomalies. Now you have grasped the fundamental concept of messaging. It's not just one technology, there are various systems designed for different purposes. Traditionally, you might have heard of message queues, for example, RabbitMQ, ActiveMQ, etc. These are excellent for distributing tasks to workers, ensuring each message is processed by exactly one consumer. Think of a to-do list where tasks are picked up by the next available worker. But then there is a powerful evolution in messaging. Event streaming platforms. This is where Apache Kafka shines. Kafka is not just a message queue, it's an event streaming platform. While it can certainly act like a queue, it offers much more. Instead of just messages that disappear after being consumed, Kafka deals with events, immutable facts or records of something that happened that are stored in a durable, ordered, and replayable log. This log can be read by multiple consumers at different times without deleting the event. Think of it like a continuous append-only ledger of every significant action that occurs in your business. This fundamental difference is what unlocks the incredible power and versatility of Kafka, which we will explore in immense detail throughout this course, especially with the advancements in Kafka 4.0. In summary, messaging is about enabling communication between different parts of a software system. It introduces an intermediary, which is a message broker, to decouple applications. Key benefits include decoupling, asynchronous processing, scalability, resilience, and efficient load distribution. Kafka is a leading event streaming platform which takes messaging to the next level by treating data as a continuous stream of durable, replayable events. Now that you understand why messaging is so critical, in our coming lectures, we are going to start peeling back the layers of Apache Kafka itself. We will begin to explore its core architecture and how it achieves these incredible benefits we just discussed. Get ready to dive into the exciting world of Kafka 4.0, and I'll see you in the next lesson.